Hey Scrappy friends, welcome back to another process video here on my channel. I'm working on my December daily of 2016 and I'm finishing up with day 12 and day 13. So to start off, I grabbed this gorgeous paper by Elle Studio from the Good Cheer collection from 2012. It is so beautiful. It's gray with white stars in the background. It's solid and outlined stars. They're all different shapes. Or not shapes, different sizes, and I knew I did not want to waste any of it. So I cut the 12 by 12 in half to give me a 6 by 8 paper, so that way I can get two layouts out of that one 12 by 12. Now I'm going to end up with a gap because page protectors are not true to size, but I'm going to talk to you about how to fix that gap. But in the meantime, I thought I was going to pull back the paper, and then I realized the other side of that gorgeous gray paper is this wood grain, which is also beautiful, but I don't like it against the gray. So then I thought about tearing the paper and then having some pattern paper behind that. Didn't like that, and then I decided to do something that I've never done before. At least I don't think I've ever done before. I've seen other people do it on 12 by 12s. However, since this was my first time, I definitely wanted to use it on a scaled down version of a layout. And that is where I take my Silhouette Cameo and I decided to use some heart shapes. And since there's 3 in the photo, I decided to have 3 hearts. And then I was going to back up those hearts with some pattern paper. Now, all of those are in my little crepe paper. It's like a strawberry bin. It's so darn cute that it holds all of my scraps and anything that I'm going to use that is really small for my layout, so that way I don't lose it on my workspace. And I am determined to use up every bit of those scraps. Now, I made a little tiny mini collection from years ago, and so that is what I have to work with. But as I'm going through the scraps, I'm finding this banner that is pink and white that says, "Oh, what a lovely day." I knew right away that would be perfect to house my journaling. And then I found this arrow that says "the best," and you can use stamps or letter stickers to fill in the rest. And then there was some phrases that were also from the cut apart sheet that said like family and fun. And then one that said memories. Now, there is a 2 by 2 square that I wanted to use so bad. You see it right there. It says warm and cozy. I thought it was perfect for this layout. However, the background is gray and white. Why couldn't it be pink and white? So I had to scratch that and just use with what I got, or what I had. So it's another day, and this is how I fill in the gaps of my page protectors. And this is just using a border punch, or not a border punch, a branding strip. And I'm just going to adhere that along the side, and then that way it fills up the gap. I have used, though, on previous page layout, pocket page layouts, border punches, though, anything to fill up that space. So because it was the next day, I was actually at work, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if I really want to back it up with pattern paper. I want to use something, you know, kind of neat and interesting, and that's when I came up with the idea of what if I use acetate paper and have that peeking through, and maybe I could use sequins or something to fill it, you know, behind it. Now, I picked this acetate paper. It was a 12 by 12, and I just took a piece of it off, and it's little circles with snowflakes in the circles. However, I was thinking that if I added sequins, you really wouldn't see it, because that acetate is a pretty busy acetate, where some of them are usually scaled down. So I end up just forgetting that and just keeping it as is. I thought about using the enamel dots, and I actually come back to it a couple times thinking I was going to use the enamel dots over the acetate, but you'll see that later on. So here I have that little banner, and it is, it just felt like it was lacking something. So I went through my stash, and I have this bin that I never even use. It is full of eyelets. We all know about those, right? And brads. And lo and behold, I have this cute little Christmas tree in it, so I thought, I have to use it, right? And then I guess I just don't think I have enough scraps that I decide to gut that little tiny piece of scrap to give me a smaller scrap. But I love that monochromatic aqua paper, so I did not want it to go to waste. So here I am adhering all that down. Now the one thing that did kind of bother me about that monochromatic teal paper is that it doesn't go all the way up to the photo. But that's an easy fix. I'm going to use that area to place down my embellishments, so that way it kind of hides it, and that way you won't know where the paper stops. So I'm going to place my banner there, and then the other one that says family and fun, I'm going to place that right where it stops so it's not extreme. I did want to hide as much as I could all that white space that's in the photo of my house. However, if I was to move that phrase that says family and fun up a little bit more, it would have given me trap space, which would not have looked good. So I really like how that looks. I think it finishes off the aqua perfectly, just gives it a nice clean look, which is what I usually like on my pages. Okay, so I did add my journaling, and now I'm just going to adhere that banner down. And I don't poke the eyelet, or not the eyelet, the brad all the way through, because I love the wood grain paper on the back. And so I'm thinking that I definitely wanted to use both sides versus getting a fresh sheet of paper and make that work. So my journaling is just really basic. It just says you both wanted to watch A Christmas Story, because this is the day that the movies came in. And it says for the first time, and you two laughed so hard it was too funny, because they were giggling hysterically, especially when they watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. They could not stop laughing. Anyways, so here I am, the next day, and I am now working on the back of that wood grain paper. Here is where I come across a little hiccup. So I worked so hard to fill in those hearts, and I thought it would, having that acetate paper would give it a nice little sneak peek of what's to come in my album. But now I needed to cover it up, because it's going to look all kind of like a hacked up if I leave it. I tried thinking about, or not that I tried, I thought about using some washi tape, and then I thought, well, I'm just going to have it kind of all over where the acetate is. I'm like, that's not going to look good. So I decide to take that other scratch piece of paper, which has the diamonds on it, and that's the way it was cut, and leave it as is. And I really liked how it comes down to a point. Plus it gives me a lot of colors to work with, and I love that paper. I actually love this entire collection. So here I am, just kind of trimming off, giving it a fishtail banner on one end, and then cutting the point versus having it a straight line, if that makes any sense. So that way it's a true arrow. But I did leave a trim of around that aqua, so it was going around all of it, because I really like the look of that. This is where I take the heart. So where the hearts from the cutout that I did for my Silhouette Cameo, I didn't want to waste any of those, so I ended up placing the heart, adding some foam adhesive. If I would have done it or thought about it better, I would have used my tape that comes in a big roll that I get on Amazon versus all those little squares. But that's okay, it still works. So I'm going to place that to where the point is, and I really like that. And then I'm going to add my number for day 13. And then the photo is going to be of, I have been eyeing these stocking holders forever on Pottery Barn, and they were just too expensive. They were so ridiculous that I was like, I'm not going to spend that kind of money. And one morning, right before work, this is like the following year, so this is last year. Like I said, I've been thinking about these for a couple years now. I thought, what if I just see how much they might be on sale? I look, they are on clearance. I got all 4 of them for under $40, which is huge, because I would have spent over $100 on those things. So I was so happy. So yeah, I placed that order real quick before I went to work, and I was so excited when they came in, because like I said, I had been wanting them for years. Okay, so then the arrow that says the best, I put the best delivery. That was my little Christmas present to myself. And then there is a pattern paper that has a bunch of writing on it that says like Jingle bells. They just have a bunch of words on it as a full 12 by 12 paper. It's pink and white with white script writing. And I kind of been using it to cut out certain words that I see, and the one said deck the halls, and I love that. So I'm going to fussy cut around that, and I'm actually going to place that on my picture. Okay, so the layout is coming to an end. I am going to wrap that up with some enamel dots, and you'll see that here in just a minute. But I did want to take the time before this video ends, and that is to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. My whole goal is to inspire you with whatever project you are working on, and right now I'm working on December Daily. So I do hope that I'm providing you some inspiration, giving you some ideas on what you can do with your December Daily. I would love to know, are you making one this year? Or, you know, have you made them before? Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. And also, for those of you who don't know, I am doing a giveaway. Once I hit 700 subscribers, this is open to anybody. I'm going to pick one lucky winner to for a gift card of their scrapbook store, so their choice. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Again, I hope I inspired you, and you all have a wonderful day. Bye.